We're going to combine two American favorites, General Tso's and fried chicken wings. And the Chinese secret to extra crispy wings lies right here. Okay, maybe not in this form. I'm going to show you all the tips you need to get crispy, saucy General Tso's wings in 20 minutes. All right, so we have our wings and we're going to marinate it. You have to have layers of flavor here, so we're going to add some sugar, cooking wine, sesame oil, and a little bit of soy sauce. Give that a good mix together and set that aside to marinate. So the next step is to prepare the rest of your ingredients for the sauce. We do this while the chicken is marinating, so everything is ready to go once it's time to cook. So the first thing we're gonna do is cut our chilies, and the easiest way to do this is with scissors. All you need to do here is snip, and all your seeds are gonna just fall out. Now I'm not saying don't use the seeds, I'm just saying the seeds are what's spicy. So this way, you can control your heat. So that's all cut. I'm gonna collect all the red parts and I'll just take whatever seeds come with it. So next is to prepare the trifecta of Chinese cuisines. We need to slice our scallions, mince our ginger, and mince our garlic. These scallions are straight from Calvin's garden. We only need the whites. Next we'll mince our ginger. So it's time for the sauce. This sauce, you can use it for anything. You don't have to use it for the wings. You can use it when you stir fry, when you make regular General Tso's chicken. So use the same sauce. We're gonna start with some sugar. This is soy sauce, dark soy sauce for some color. Oyster sauce, Shaoxing cooking wine. Now this is what gives General Tso's chicken its distinct flavor. It's the Zhejiang black vinegar. So give that all a mix together. And your sauce is ready. Final thing we need to prepare is just a little bit of a slurry. So when you're cooking Chinese food, you want everything to be prepared. Everything is ready. You don't have time to go and prepare this stuff while you're cooking. So make sure you prepare all your ingredients in advance. So just a little bit of water, cornstarch, and give that a little mix. So we're gonna add a little bit of oil to our pan. We're gonna heat this up over medium-low heat. And then we're going to add our chilies in. We're going to char our chilies over medium-low heat. If it gets too hot, then just take it off. I just want a little bit of char on here. Okay, and once you smell that it's fragrant and you're coughing and dying, then you can add in the rest of your ingredients. General Tso's chicken was actually invented in the US by Chef Peng, and he was the chef to Chiang Kai-shek. And while he was in the US, he invented this dish because he was supposed to cook for some American dignitaries. And he's like, these Americans aren't gonna like our food. So he invented General Tso's chicken, and it was a bit of sweet and salty and sour, and the Americans loved it. And to this day, it's still a very popular dish. All right, we are going to now add our garlic, ginger, scallion. We're just going to stir fry that till it's fragrant, and that's only going to take a couple of seconds. And once that's fragrant, we can add in our sauce. Mix it all together. This is going to be really fast. Once that comes to a boil, we're going to add in our cornstarch slurry. And the trick here is to turn down your heat before you add in your slurry. Otherwise, it's going to clump up. Now you can turn your heat back up. And just get it to a nice thickness where it can coat the back of your spoon. Then it's good. So I already told you the secret to the perfect crisp is the potato starch, but now we're gonna go back to 3rd grade science and make an oobleck, like Dr. Seuss. So we have our potato starch. We're just gonna add a little water to it, and then we're going to add some soy sauce and fish sauce. I know what you're thinking, fish sauce stinks, why the heck are you putting it in there? It's because it just adds a perfect amount of flavor. You're not gonna taste in the end, but it adds this little bit of umami. And that's what you kind of want, this depth of flavor and layers of flavor going into this, all right? So using our hands, we're gonna just make and work this into it. So this is the consistency you're gonna want here. You can see as soon as I let it go, it just becomes a liquid, but when I grab it, it's a solid. So it should just flow back and become into ribbons and disappear into it right away. This is a very similar recipe that we use for our guobao roe. If you haven't seen that already, go check that out. And someone even tried the guobao roe recipe with chicken. And the reason I'm telling you this is because all of these recipes, you can adapt it and make it your own. So do whatever you like and just follow the tips and you'll be fine. So the other reason why we add soy sauce into this is so that we can get a little bit color into it. Otherwise, if you just leave it like that, it's going to take a little longer to get brown, but this allows it to get brown much quicker. And the final thing we add here is just a little bit of oil to finish it off. Okay, mix that in. So we have our chicken, just going to give it a final mix here, and then we're going to work it into our batter. So once you have it all mixed together, we can head over and start frying it. I like to fry in my wok, but you can use whatever you want to use, just as long as it holds the oil. Try and use a high smoke point oil. I'm using canola. You can use something like peanut or whatever you want, but just make sure it's a high smoke point. We have the oil up to about 340 degrees Fahrenheit, 350. You want to try and maintain that temperature for the first fry. So now before you start, you want to remix all your chicken into this batter, okay? Because you're going to see like the batter sinks to the bottom and it gets tough at the bottom again. And you want to remix all that stuff, all the goodies. Okay, the other thing is don't overcrowd your pan. We're going to let the excess drip off. Okay, what I like to do is I like to help it along a little bit. The magical swish and then drop it away from me once I'm ready. Once your chicken is in there, just leave it alone for a second. Let the batter stick to the chicken, let it coat the chicken, and once it's set, then you can move it. If you move it now, there's going to be bald spots and nobody likes bald spots. So you want to try and maintain your oil temperature around 340, 350, and this helps to push all the moisture out, cook the chicken all the way through, and get that nice crispy skin. So once the skin is set, you can start moving them around a bit, and then if any of them are stuck together, this is the time to separate it. And you want to cook it to, you want to cook it through fully. So if you don't have one already, get one of these kitchen thermometers. They're great. We leave all of our equipment that we use in the description below, along with the recipe. So we're going to get this to about 360 degrees Fahrenheit. It's already there. So that's the first fry. And now we're just going to remove it from the oil and do the next batch. Before you do your second batch, you want to just clean out all of the impurities in here. There's going to be quite a lot of junk that just came off of frying this. This is what makes your oil taste funny, taste weird, and get really dark. So if you do this, it will make your oil last longer and your food will taste better. So we brought our oil temperature up now until 375, 400, and we're going to go in for our second fry. Splash like crazy, but that's because we're pushing out any extra moisture and any oil. So now we're going to only be left with a crisp skin and a nice color. So here you're just looking for nice color. Once you have the color you want, then you can remove it. If you made your sauce a little too far in advance and now it's like a gloopy mess like this because of the cornstarch, don't worry. We're just going to reheat it. Turn on the heat, give it a little stir, and we're just going to add a touch of water just to get it back into the consistency we want, and just stir it all back together. All right, so you want to bring this back to about where the consistency you had it before, just so it coats the back of your cooking utensil. So the number of ways you can finish this: you can put it into a bowl, put as much sauce as you want, then toss it. And if you're doing this for Instagram, you can paint each and every single one. But no one really has time for that. I certainly don't. I'm really busy, so I don't mind having extra sauce. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to toss all the wings here, then toss it all together and then plate it. These things were still crispy even after being sauced for an hour. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And follow us on Instagram.